Hi, boys and girls. What you're going to do for this next project is I asked you to get 5 sheets of paper, and you just want it to be thin paper. You can use regular photocopy paper, printer paper. You could use graph paper. I told you on the list, even lined paper will work. I actually have some scrap paper junk mail that has an advertisement on one side, but I'm going to use the white side, so that will be fine. You need some crayons, and you're going to need to peel the paper off. In my opinion, that was the hardest part, to peel the paper, but I know some of you are very good peelers. So you don't have to peel the whole crayon. If you break it and you want to use just a chunk of it, this is a really good project to use for those old crayons that you don't really like to color with anymore. Peel them. I wouldn't recommend really light colors like yellow. It won't show up. Definitely not white because the paper we're using is white. So get a bunch of colors. I'd say like 4 or 5 colors of crayons that are peeled, and you'll need 5 sheets of paper. At the end of this project, you're going to keep these papers, put them in a safe place, because next time for cycle 6, you're going to get a project you're going to use, that you're going to make out of all of these interesting papers that you're going to make today. Then you're going to go for another scavenger hunt. You're going to look for textures. You watched the video already that was before this that talked about textures and how textures, how something feels. Well, you're going to walk around and look for things and look for different textures. I went for a walk in different locations. I went outside, so I collected some leaves. I found a feather. I pulled off a chunk of bark. I brought in, hold on one sec, I even brought a brick. So I brought all of these into my art space here today. But then I went for a walk around my house. And around my house, I found this roll of tape. This box has a very nice texture on it. It's carved, so it's very bumpy. I found some coins, different kinds of coins that I'm going to use for a texture. I have a flip-flop, has an interesting texture on it. This piece of cardboard, if you can hear, it has a texture to it. You could also take a piece of cardboard, and if you peel off the top layer, sometimes you get lucky, and then you could get to the zigzag part. That is a really good texture to use also. So take a look around your house. Legos are a good texture. And I'm going to show you, when I switch the camera view, how you're going to use these objects with texture. See the cardboard? You're going to use these texture objects, and we're going to do some texture rubbing. Some of you have done that in the art room before. I'll just go over how we're going to do that. I'll show you some examples, and then you're going to fill those 5 pieces of paper with texture rubbings using the different crayons that you have just collected and peeled, or as we call them at HES, they are naked crayons because they don't have paper on them anymore. Okay, so I will switch camera views and I will show you how you're going to do this close up, and then you're going to get started and you are going to do 5 pages of texture rubbings. Take care. Bye. Okay, so I changed the camera view and now I'm going to show you how to make some texture rubbings. So you take things that have an interesting feel to them. You want them to be kind of flat. If they're 2-3-dimensional, it's not going to be easy. So let's start out with those coins. So I take the coins and I'm going to switch them up. I don't want them all to be heads up, so I switched them around. And I'm going to put them under my paper. And then I'm going to take the side of my crayon and I'm going to give it a rub. It's kind of tricky because they tend to move, so do your best you can to rub them. And look, it's like magic. Where are those coins? There they are. Okay, so there's a rubbing of my coins. I could switch colors. I could move them a little bit and try again. And rub my coins. That back of that penny kind of comes out neat, doesn't it? So I could fill a whole sheet with just different colors of the coins. But I am going to switch it up. I'm going to move those out of the way. I'm going to take the circle from a tape. Take the side of the crayon. Remember, we want to use the side. Use the side of the crayon and rub.
That makes an interesting shape, right? I get a copy of it by rubbing it on the side. You don't use the point, you use the side of the crayon. All right, let's see what else do I have. Oh, this is a nice circle. So here is a fan. I'm going to take the fan and I'm going to get a copy of the different angles on it. That comes out very interesting. A neat way to fill my page. Folding my paper so it doesn't go anywhere. I could do that again. I'm going to move it this time and I'm going to go with green. I'm going to overlap the two. So now we've got textures happening, color happening, and then overlapping. Nice. Okay, this still isn't full. Look at all those spaces I have. I'm going to go with the circle theme again and check that out. A Lego board. And let's see, I'm going to go with a new color too. This time I'm going to go with... Did you expect the Lego board to look like that? Look at that. Also makes a cool sound. It's like an instrument, right? We got sounds happening. Sometimes if you go different directions, you get different effects. So I'm going to fill up this side over here with a little bit more of the Lego board. Remember, we want to fill this entire page, overlapping, different textures on the page. See a little bit space over here. Get another color. All right, that one is sufficiently filled. Let's see what else we can do. I'm going to take my graph paper. I told you I had a flip-flop. This is a huge flip-flop. It's my husband's. And I'm going to see what kind of a texture I can get with that. So I'm going to rub it. Whoa, check it out. That's a neat print. Try your shoes too. The flip-flop was good because it laid flat on the table. So that was an easy one to choose. All right, I could move it, and now I'm going to move it, and I'm going to try another color. I'm going to repeat that flip-flop. You want a clean shoe, though, right? You want to get your paper all dirty. All right, take my flip-flop away. What else? Let's see. I will try... I'm going to actually go for a new piece of paper. That one's kind of full. I'm going to try the lined paper. And the lined paper, I'm going to try some of my nature objects from my walk outside. I'm going to try the brick. Now, you might have an interesting pattern even on your floor in your house. So you could try your floor where you have wood flooring, or maybe you have cement, or you have bricks on your front porch. All right, that's a bumpy texture. Cool. Let's see what else I have. Oh, let's try this feather. I'm going to take the feather. Again, remember, you hide it under the paper. So I'm going to take this feather. I'm going to hide it underneath the paper. I'm going to rub it. Not very exciting. I'm not really thrilled with the feather. Let's see. How about the bark? Let's see what the bark looks like. This is very rough. You could use it. You could actually, if it's nice out, go outside and rub a tree. Very bumpy, very rough. You get a texture on here. It certainly happens. And I got a texture from that. Look at that texture. Woo! Different trees will give you different textures also. I'm going to take this paper and put it aside. I'm going to get out a new one. Here's another piece of paper, a blank piece of paper. This time I'm not going to take this whole bunch of leaves. I'm just going to take 1 or 2 leaves, and I'm going to put the 1 or 2 leaves underneath my paper, and I will give them a rubbing. Oh, look at that. I even get the veins from it. That's really nice. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, look, my one leaf wrinkled. Remember we talked about the cardboard. Now I peeled the cardboard over here, so the peeled part should give me a very interesting design. Oh yeah, look, I got those stripes from where I peeled it. And the last thing I'm going to test out before I turn the video off is I want to show you that box, the rosewood box. So I take that box and I'm going to cover it with my paper and I'm going to rub it. Oh, you see some of the flowers coming up? How neat is that design? And you see it doesn't compromise. I don't ruin the actual objects, so you don't have to worry about that. Just rub it with the side and look at that cool design. Again, you use the side of your crayon and you rub it. So I put it, let's see if I can get this flower design to show up a little bit better over here. Wow, look at that. Very cool. Lace would also look really nice. You could take lace. Oh, I have one more thing I brought over here to show you how it works. So here's my junk mail. I'm going to flip it over. And look at this. This is part of a step stool. I'm going to see what my step stool does, if I get a texture off of that. Look, I do. I get all the circles on it. Look at the circles I get from that. All right, so I could move it. I could do it again. Very nice. Okay, well, good luck. Collect your 5 pages, and next week I will show you what we're going to make out of them. So save them.